Hello, it's Graham Coath. Welcome to another My Music. And today I'm going to be talking to Iona James. This is really the kind of lead up, the warm up to the England match later on today. It's probably far more entertaining than the warm up on the TV to the football match. But there you go. So in a minute, I'll be speaking to Iona. But first, a little word from our sponsors.
I need to get going, mate. I'll see you later.
There you go. Now, we might be lucky this afternoon, Iona, because lots of people around the country have apparently skipped off work this afternoon in order to go home and watch the football.
Okay.
So you never know. We might actually catch more people this afternoon because they're already at home, and they're thinking, "Oh, I've got an hour to kill before the football starts. I just need to stay entertained. So I'm going to come on and listen to Iona talking to Graham.
Well, hopefully I can entertain them then.
Well, absolutely. It's going to be fine. Are you a football fan yourself?
No, not really. I think you are though, because a few I've watched of you, you enjoy your football, I think, don't you?
Not really.
No, you sound more enthusiastic on the other interviews.
I can be enthusiastic about these international championships.
Yeah.
The only reason I'm enthusiastic about it at all is just the fact that I think it gives, especially after the period that we've just had, I'm just enthusiastic about the fact that people have got something else to distract them for 5 minutes.
Yeah, I get that. Right? I get that.
Mm-hmm. And I'm also enthusiastic about, this is the only other thing, I'm enthusiastic about the fact that I'm starting to see crowds of people together in a joined place again. Because, and not for the football, because I've never really gone to see football matches, once or twice in my life, but because it means that eventually music will happen as well.
Yeah.
That's the bit that I'm excited about. The most times that I've been to a football stadium, it's actually to see someone play music.
Yeah, I think that's the same with me. I think, just looking forward to having a bit of normality, really, isn't it?
Yeah. No, absolutely. So, I mean, have you been over the years as you grew up? Did you go to football stadiums at all to watch any bands?
A few, I went to see Take That, and
did you?
Yeah, in Glasgow. Yeah, it was good. It was really good.
Was that with Robbie in the band, or
no?
Robbie
I'm not that old. No, it was.
Oh no, Robbie came back at one point. Remember, he came back at one point.
Yes. No, it was without Robbie. But it was good. It was really good. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, they certainly know how to put on the show, don't they?
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
That's the thing. So take me back, Iona. Take me back. I mean, what a wonderful name as well. Does your name have any connection to the island of Iona at all?
No. It's just, my mum liked it, so there.
So it's a great name. It's a great name. It is a great place as well. It's very very peaceful and a lot of great music has come out of Iona over the years as well. So take me back to your childhood. Where did music start for you? Did it start in childhood, or was it later on in life?
It did start in childhood. I remember when I was little, me and my mum, when we were tidying up after dinner, and she would put on her records, and we would sit and play the records. We'd play Cyndi Lauper and the Bee Gees, and just listening to those with my mum. And it was a special time with my mum. She was always busy, and often I didn't spend time with her, and that time was special, just listening to those songs and actually singing them together. So I think that's where it started initially. And actually, I was talking to her again about it because she'd actually forgot really about when we used to do that. And she was like, well, it was Michael Jackson, the Jackson 5. That's where as well. And I'd forgotten those the records that we used to listen to. So yeah, it was started there. That little spark, I think.
Well, I have to say, your parents had far cooler music taste than mine. Did she listen to a lot of music, or was there? I mean, you've mentioned a few artists there, or was it quite a broad spectrum of music that your mother listened to?
Yeah, we listened to lots of different, and the Beatles and different. So a wide range. We just
There you go. And did you from that? Did you get the bug fairly early on to start trying to make music yourself, or was it at that stage? Was it just singing along and
singing along? And my dad actually used to buy cassette tapes, little karaoke tapes, and we used to play them in the house and sing along to them. And I enjoyed that. And then it moved on to me playing in the school band. I used to play the flute in the school band, and we'd sing in theatre shows. But then it kind of fizzled out because life takes over. I joined the army, and I trained as a nurse, so that took over. And then being a mum and having a family took over, and just working really. And I think I was complaining one day about work, which I think we all do a little bit. And my father-in-law then said to me, well, why don't you do something you love? And somewhere in the back of my head was the songs that I would write. And I had continued writing the songs through my life, but just keeping them pieces of paper and putting them in a drawer, never recording them or doing anything. And he said, do something you love. And so I Googled courses on songwriting, and the course I went on, I actually met a chap who he's on Twitter, and he is in Black Cart Band, is Les. And Les told me all about his band, and he said how he was putting his music out and into the world. And I felt a bit jealous, actually. I felt, can I do that? And I then had this New Year's resolution to put my songs out, and it was onto Spotify because I didn't really know where else to put it. I didn't really even think about the various sites or anything. And so it started from there. And then that New Year's resolution was this January to put my songs on. And so I've just started, and I put one in January and one in March, and that is where
I think that's a wonderful story, and I think it's actually quite. There's going to be a lot of people that would listen to this that actually can completely relate to that as a story, because I think there's a lot of us that, where music was really, we were involved in trying to make music at one point or other, and we perhaps wrote some songs. And we're going along that line a little bit, and as you say, life comes along, something changes, you get into a career, you then have a family. That's the story for so many people. I love the fact that someone said to you, do something you love, because I think that's the fundamental thing. I've done it myself during this whole lockdown period with things like this. I wasn't doing this before. I'd reached the dizzy heights of being a COO in a company. I'd made my way up the corporate ladder, as it were. I'd left that, and I was beginning to look at what I did next. And I went immediately into some work again. But I was thinking all the time while I was doing that, this really isn't what I want to spend the rest of my years doing.
No.
And just like you, I had the epiphany of, why not get paid to do what you really love doing?
Yeah.
Because it just makes sense in life. I don't know whether it's at a certain time in life as well. It really kicks in. But the whole, certainly for me, the whole pandemic really accelerated that, because it was almost a case of, well, we're kind of stuck here, and other things aren't happening. There was a real feeling of space with that lockdown period, and coming together with the family again, and just having the room to pick up guitars and
Mhm.
experiment. So yeah, I did this. Was that the same for you? Did in some way did all the lockdowns and the pandemic actually accelerate this?
I think so. It was back when I decided to put it on. I think, yeah, working as a nurse, I was really quite stressed. I found it very stressful. I wouldn't sleep. I would be worrying all night about everything, worrying about my patients, worrying about me, worrying about my family that I was in contact with and touching, and should I be touching them? And so music, I went to that and I was drawn to that, and it distracts you. It took me away from all of that. I could sit for hours and forget about that. And my husband would come downstairs and be like, "When did you get up?" And I was like, 5 o'clock. And I'd be sitting doing, and it just distracted me. And so I didn't get to lockdown. I would have loved a little bit of lockdown. I was in all the time, but in the time that you had free, there wasn't a lot to do. So actually, the music has then been accelerated, and yeah, just writing tons and tons of songs, I think, at the moment. And yeah, and that is how I ended up with the collaboration that we've done with me and Clint Slate. So I was on Twitter. I've never been on Twitter in my life, and I started in January, and I was on Twitter, and I think I kind of thought it wasn't real. And there was there was a thing on iRadio, and they'd said, "Anybody want to do a collaboration?" And I went, "I'm in. If you're in, put I'm in." And I put I'm in. And then I think the week after, I got pulled out with Clint, and I was like, "Oh, I shouldn't. Why did I do that? I shouldn't have done that." And I felt a bit of a fake, pretending like I was a musician when I'm a nurse, and I got picked out. So I think he sent me a wee bit bio telling me all about what he did, and I'm like, I don't really do anything.
But it's funny you should say that, because I was speaking to someone this morning just in an online networking group, and it's nothing to do with music, but it's a similar thing. And they were saying that they're transitioning at the moment because they have been a VA but what they really love doing, and what they found over this period by doing it, is that they really love website design and one particular area of website design in particular. And they said, but they felt a bit of a fake, because there's all of these people out there that have got a degree in this and a qualification in that, etc. And they're saying, I'm putting myself out there now as someone that wants to do, can do this for you.
Yeah.
But there's all these other people that seem far more qualified. Yeah. But actually, isn't it just about where your passion lies at the end of the day? And I think ultimately, especially in something like in music or the arts or whatever, you stand and fall on the quality of whatever it is you're producing. Yeah, and actually, does it matter that you've had a lineage in this, or you've actually studied this, or you've done that, whatever? At the end of the day, you're producing music. If your music is touching people and giving people enjoyment, that's all that matters, isn't it, really?
Yeah, it's a nice way to think. Actually, I am a cup half empty kind of girl, so I always think of the worst. But that's a really nice way to think of it, actually, and I should think of that. I think, I should take that on board.
Oh, I definitely think so. I'm a cup nearly empty.
I thought you knocked it over then, did you? No.
No. It's a big enough cup as well, but it's you've got to stay lubricated, haven't you, when you do all of this chat all day long. So you played flute. You were a flautist.
No, not anymore.
which is quite hard as an instrument. Was that mainly classical type pieces, or? Yeah,
but a bit of everything in the band. Yeah. So a little bit of everything. Now I'm not so good, but I was quite good when I was younger. But yeah.
So
I haven't tried it for a while.
So did you, in your younger self, did you ever then sort of pick up guitar then as well, or? And were you in any little bands back then, or?
No, I don't know why. I didn't even think of that. I would play the guitar, but I am poor at that. And the piano, I would do the piano as well. And that was it. So yeah.
But you started
no,
writing. You started writing back then, did you?
Yeah.
But that was
I really enjoyed that.
cool. But that was just for private, for yourself.
Yeah.
Never sort of went down the local village hall and played a little set in front of anybody, or down the local pub or anything.
No, it was all in the school concerts. I would do that, and then it stopped. And then I did join the Military Wives Choir a couple of years ago.
Right.
The West of Scotland Military Wives Choir, and we sang. I think I did that maybe for a year, but it still didn't. It still wasn't everything I wanted it to be, I suppose. I don't know. I had my wee boy as well, so I left, and then I just didn't go back. But yeah, I did enjoy it. I don't know that I enjoy so much performing. I don't, in front of people. I find that quite stressful. I am, yeah. Unless I've had a glass of wine, I'm a bit, karaoke is different. It's different.
Well, I think it's like all things. Now, I think it's like all things. Having been there, seen it, done it, got the T-shirt for it. It's practice as much as anything else.
Maybe, yeah.
I know a lot of performers find it really, really stressful, and actually getting up on stage in front of people is a very different experience to just writing your music, in the quiet of your bedroom, etc. But I think it is ultimately practice, and not only practice with a band or practice beforehand before you go on stage, but it's the practice of actually finding your way of doing that live performance in front of a group of people and what you feel comfortable with. So it's I mean, I used to be a complete nutter live. I mean, but I have to say, I preferred it always as a singer than I did playing an instrument. That in a way makes me quite nervous, playing an instrument in front of a group of people. And I think it's just something from the days of being in school and trying to do that recorder in front of a group of people. I still mentally have that block that I'm being watched. Singing, it doesn't affect me at all, because I just lose myself in the song, and I can kind of blot out the fact that I can feed off a group of people. So that's I
suppose I've never done it, so I've never sung my songs live, so I
never say never. Never say never.
Well, I was thinking whether that was a New Year's resolution again. I did think that, but we'll see. We'll see.
Well, we're trying to encourage you. We're trying to encourage you gently into that pathway. So you started writing again. I just want to know, actually, all those years through the army and motherhood, etc. Did you carry on singing? I mean, was singing something that actually carried you through, albeit in the shower or whilst you're cleaning your rifle or whatever it was you did in the army? I mean, it's
no, it did. Yeah, I think playing music and listening to it as well, but singing, it was always karaoke for me, to be honest. I think you give me a chance and I would put every single song in for the karaoke and keep going back up and singing. So I did enjoy it, and writing my songs as well. But I would never show them. Generally, if someone annoyed me or if I was upset or sad, all your emotions, then I would be putting that into my songs. So I'd write those while I was away or things like that. And I think some of my songs now, a lot of those are generally my feelings and coming back from the army and that kind of thing. So
So if a couple of wines, Christmas party, I've invited Iona and her husband and the children over, karaoke goes on, you're there, definitely. You're up for that challenge. What's your go-to?
Oh, it used to be Nothing Compares to You, Sinead O'Connor, and then it would be what else would I do? Cranberries, one from the Cranberries.
Let Linger.
Yeah, or what's the in your head one? I can't think.
Zombie.
Zombie, yeah, I do Zombie, and then it. What can I think? But that, yeah, generally, yeah, those kind of songs I would do.
I'm going to surprise everyone now. For me, it's generally "You Give Love a Bad Name" by Bon Jovi,
All right.
or "Your Sex Is on Fire" by Kings of Leon. Love those for karaoke. I mean, you just got to get in that space and let that rip. But I just love those two.
Oh yeah, I would do Cher as well. Turn Back Time.
Oh,
that's the one, my shouter. Yeah,
that's a great song, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely. I can. Oh, yeah, you're getting me in the mood there for some karaoke.
Do some karaoke.
Yeah. So you started writing again. You know, you had this kind of epiphany and this New Year's resolution to start doing it. Where's this music going? I mean, listen to the EP. It's 4 very different tracks on that EP stylistically. And the title of the EP comes from a line in one of the songs as well. Always confuses me that when that happens, because I'm a simpleton, and you know, like a lot of people, you go, well, where's that song on this EP? It's in the lyrics. But there you go. So I hope I haven't spoiled that for anybody out there.
No,
but you have to find it. Tell us which song it is on. All right, you have to listen all the way through now to find that out. So how did you go about writing 4 so very different stylistically based songs? I mean, that's, did you have an idea for the style of each of them, or did it just naturally develop?
So this was the collaboration with Clint Slate. So basically, it started off with the one song, No Way Out. And that's where it started. And what happened, he would send me a melody, a guitar melody or riff or something like that. And basically then I would hear that song and come back with a verse, maybe a chorus with it or something. Just what I would hear. Generally, when I hear a melody, you can pick a little thing that would then set me off on a song. So I would send him then my vocal lyrics, and I would send it to him. He would then take it and chop it into bits and move it around and add it, and then generally I would say he made the style. He came up with the idea of the style. He would then send it back to me and I would add maybe some piano or something like that. But generally he came up with the idea. But I suppose maybe the style came from my songs originally a little bit. And then he took it and chopped it. So we are very much kind of working together, but doing very different things to the songs from the way they start.
Because you had a song out before that, Journey, etc. Now, and that was purely your song. You wrote it, you produced it, etc. And you can hear stylistically a difference between the two projects, in as much as that's very much more sort of verse chorusy, and it's very I did say to you, it's got a very catchy chorus though, very catchy chorus. But there's, and I'm not being rude in this, but there's a little bit more going on in this new piece of work, in terms of sort of sounds and also, as I say, styles, etc. Is that, did you find that quite challenging, and actually quite an encouragement at the same time, that this may be an even better way to work, this kind of collaboration?
Yeah, I think it's very difficult because I would have what I thought it would sound like, and then it would go away and come back something different. And actually, some days I would get it and go, no, and I'd go back to my husband and go, what's he done? What's he done to it? He's done something, I don't like it, and I'd have to listen to it. And then the more I listened to it, I was like, actually, I do like it. And then sometimes I would send something and go, be careful with this. This is very delicate. Don't add whistles and zips and noises, because sometimes I would like it more simple. And then I suppose that's like Tell Me Now is more simple and that kind of acoustic.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think with all his knowledge and multi-instruments and things, he brings a bigger picture to the songs than I can do on my own. And I think that's made me aware that I work better with somebody with that knowledge and with that expertise, so that I can build on what I already can make and improve it, I think.
So even if you don't collaborate, because he's singing on these tracks as well.
Yeah.
So even if you don't collaborate in that way going forward, you would perhaps want to find yourself a producer that stretched you and when thanks Iona, it's a great song, but I'm just gonna, what about if we did this with it? And push it around. I mean that the first song that you mentioned there, the first song on the EP, I thought it's elements of prog in that as well, which I really love. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but for millions of people out there that are prog aficionados like myself, that was really rather wonderful. And as you say, then some of the other tracks are a little bit more straightforward, but the blending of those really very nice indeed. Where would you like to take your music next?
I don't know. We do have 2 more EPs to come out. So that's us together. So from February to May we wrote 12 songs.
That's an album.
We thought we'd do little ones.
Yes.
So there are 12 to come out, and they'll be coming out over this year. But I've got my own kind of, they were there already, and they've got put on hold really because of this big 12. So I think working on my own, and then there's some other people that I'm having chats with and thinking of working with. So that's quite exciting actually. And then I don't know, I'm open to more collaborations, to be honest, because I think that's maybe where I see myself going, to push me more. Can
you give us any clues to any of those other people that you're working with, or is that
no.
is that
not until we've done it.
Absolutely. Who's the dream collaboration with them?
I don't know. What, famous?
Famous? Well, yeah. I mean, it could be anybody on the planet. It's unlikely to be Matt Hancock or anyone like that. But I mean, it might. It's who musician wise would you, if you could, alive or dead? Would you
alive or dead? I suppose if I don't know if I'll get done for it, but Michael Jackson, I would have, but obviously a bit strange. But musically, amazing musically. So yeah, I'll go with him because he's dead. But I'm open to. I mean, I just feel that I work better with help. I think with the music.
Maybe not even Michael Jackson. Then maybe it was more sort of Quincy Jones, the sort of producer behind some of the big Michael Jackson numbers. Maybe a big sort of R&B and soul type producer. Is that a sound that you would love to try going for on a track?
I don't know. I'm willing for a bit of everything, to be honest, because like with Clint, the songs are very different, and the ones coming out are very different as well. He's quite keen to produce very different songs and not have, because I think with duets it can get a bit samey. I think when you're on your own it's very different, but when you're together, he was aware that he didn't want us to be just duetting all the time. So there's different elements to it. So yeah, But I don't know. I'm open to all suggestions, really.
Exciting stuff. So if you'd like to collaborate with Iona, you're a musician, famous or not, do get in touch, and she may say yes. You never know.
She might.
She's open for collaborate. Well, if she likes what you're doing, she will. And so just to give us a little bit of information about where this one can be downloaded, and then when we're likely to see the next one. So this one's available on all of the platforms, Amazon. I listen to it on Amazon because I've got an account there. But where else is it available?
Yeah, so Spotify, Amazon, Apple, all of those. Obviously on YouTube, if you want it free, you can watch it on there. And then there's also videos that Clint has made for each of the singles. There's a really little video which are really good, actually, but I had nothing to do with those. But and then on Bandcamp, obviously you can look at that, and that's where you make your money.
Look, that's where you should go, folks. You should go to Bandcamp and actually spend some money on this, because that would be great, wouldn't it?
Also, I would say if you go to Bandcamp, we do have, because sometimes I like less is more. Clint agreed that he thought about it, and he made some naked ones. So there's ones where there isn't really much except for a guitar and us singing as well. So they are very different acoustic kind of tracks, and they're really good, actually, and they're only available there. So if you buy the EP on there, you get 9 tracks for your bang for your
buck. You see. You see, that's giving value. That's very good. That's very good. That's giving value. So that's available now on Bandcamp. What do they look under? Iona James?
No, it's under Clint. I'm not really on Bandcamp yet, but I will be. I'll be getting there.
Okay. So Clint's name is, remind people?
Clint. Yeah, Clint Slate.
Clint Slate. If you look at Clint Slate on Bandcamp, buy it there. And then the next little EP, when's that going to be available then? When's that due to hit?
Well, for me, I was hoping to be doing it in between me and Clint's EPs, but sometimes I like to record things too much. So I'm never happy. So at the minute, I'm not happy, but I'm hoping to get one out in between, and then we're probably looking at September for the next one for the collaboration EP. So it's all exciting, really. I've never done anything like this last year, so
you're going to have a big year of it. It's going to be great. Are you happy that you've made the move? That's the thing. I mean, has it put a smile on your face? And I mean,
I worry a lot. I worry about what people think. But actually, to have one person come up to me and say they like it, that means everything, doesn't it? And I had a comment on Twitter today, and that said how lovely it was. And I think that makes it all worthwhile. Somebody listening. I think I've changed. I'm doing things I would never do before, and I'll walk up to a complete stranger and go, "Have you heard? I've released a song," and they just look at me like I'm a weirdo. But
it's probably best not to do that in Tesco's at the cashier checkout. I've released a song.
Yes. Captured orders there. I could. I never even thought about going to Tesco and doing it. Actually, maybe. Yeah.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I wish you all the best with everything and the music going forward, etc. And I really hope anybody listening to this over the next few days, as it circulates and percolates around the internet, goes, listens, and then lets you know, because this is what this is all about for me. This is not about me. Yeah. This is about the people that come on the show and the music that they're producing. So, if we can do anything this weekend, right, what I'd love to see this weekend is plenty of love going to Iona James and Clint for this music that they're producing, and just let them know, if you've listened to it and you really enjoyed it, the best thing you can do is actually go back to the artist and let them know how much you love it, because that feeling really spurs them on to carry on and go to the next level with it. So thank you very much for coming and joining me this afternoon. I hope people have been thoroughly entertained before the football. You know, probably in 2 hours from now, everybody in the nation's going to be completely depressed. But I'm just saying, I'm just saying, you know, which is also a good time to pick up and listen to music. But there you go. If you want to do something this weekend that's worthwhile, do check out Iona James's music on one of those platforms. Thanks for joining me.
Thank
Bye
you.
for now.
Bye.